Here we are in Poblacion de Condes, which is west of Fromista. We took a taxi here this morning because for some reason Josefina said there's no reason to do that, 15-20 miles. And
or we'd be in Spain for 7 weeks.
Yeah, so we're walking to Carrion de Condes, about 12 miles. And we left two of our good friends. His picture is going to follow. Brian from New Zealand and Art from Florida, now Florida, Kentucky. But we had lots in common with them, and that's sad to leave them, but that's part of the...
And we will see Art in Santiago.
Yeah, we'll see Art in Santiago. And that's part of the deal of the Camino. We got out of the taxi and we're getting ready to go, and a guy walked by and said, "Is it this cold in Birmingham?" And Chet from Tucson, we haven't seen him for 10 days, so that is part of the mystique and fun of the Camino. So we just joined this little river here, walking along the side of these trees, and if you look real close, the main route is along that road. You can see that truck. Oh, there's Janet. See that road? The main route walks along the side of the road, and it's maybe a mile shorter, but we chose the more scenic route. So.
Good morning, Lenora.
We met Chris walking along. He's a business consultant and joined the Peace Corps a few years ago and worked in Namibia for 3 years, and goes back every so often to consult with a small town that was newly created after the Namibian independence 30 or so years ago. Interesting fellow. We also saw Tucson, who we hadn't seen for about 10 days. So, old friends and new friends. 6 miles, beautiful little church. Sat and reflected for a few minutes. Very nice. So we're in Villa-Casar de Sirga, and this is a Knights Templar cathedral from 13th, 14th century. You'll see more of this in pictures. 13th century. Notice the lack of windows. This is before the cathedral building got to be perfected. Old Gothic arches. This tells the story of St. James meeting Jesus. Notice the shell over the top. So this is, we walked along a creek, but the route from Fromista is like this the whole way if you don't take that option. So we're staying in a converted monastery.
Is that it with the
Swallow.
Tom,
What?
that's it. Oh my. Start over.
We didn't feel like walking back into town to look at all the historical stuff because it's a half mile or so. So we walked around this huge monastery, looked at some of the stuff there, and this is some of the original stuff. And this was a door to where the monks and the postulates lived, and probably the original floor. Huh. So this is a church within the monastery, obviously. Not sure we can get in. We're looking through a glass door. So it looks like these floors have been around for a long time. Choir stalls. There's an organ over on the side wall. Let me see, you can see the pipes there. So this is the cloister inside the monastery, and there's an incredible architectural exhibit inside talking about the effect of the Cluny in France and the transition away from Visigoth Spanish rights to Roman rights, and the conflicts that occurred, the power struggles, etc., etc. But obviously this monastery was huge and had lots and lots of influence in the area of Lyon, which is where we're close to. So they've done a marvelous job of restoring this place and putting a exhibit in place with lots of history in English and French and Spanish, along with talking about, the eventual movement towards Rome and away from a separate Spanish Catholicism. So this is the outside of the church that was built here in the 11th, 10th century. We walked 12 miles to get here today. We've walked 189 miles, and we got about a little over 200. Tomorrow around noon we will reach the halfway point in our next walk.
Halfway? Did you say halfway?